Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Patrick.
And if we sound any different this week, it's because we're using some bubble gum and duct tape to come at you.
Yeah, we're recording like savages.
Yeah, using headphone microphones, and well, this week Patrick has the really nice mic, and
yep, the finest microphone $12 could buy.
Until our normal recording mic gets back from the manufacturer, who hopefully will replace it, we have to do what we can to get by. So
you're not going to hear the subtle nuance that you're used to with our normal recordings.
Yeah.
Like the listening in on my soul as we watch another James Bond episode, and my soul cracking and breaking. But, yeah, so you want to tell the story of how we got here?
Okay. Yeah, so it kind of goes back to the sending out the microphone for repair. We did an Evil Dead episode a week or two ago, and it did not go well. On two fronts. One, the microphone apparently just crapped out on us, and I think just overconfidence, led to me not testing the recording and making sure everything sounded good before we, really got into it. So we lost the entire episode due to static and white noise and basically just too much audio on my end that was too difficult to process out of it. So, I could have cut me out of it entirely and, it's been a one-man show with Patrick, which maybe the listeners would prefer.
I would like to actually hear that, because then it would just be me talking to myself.
Yeah.
And randomly laughing.
Right. Well, I have the file, so I can send it your way.
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think that this podcast we recorded was cursed.
Yes. Based
on the film alone.
Yeah.
And our reaction to said film.
Right. Yeah. And it was weird. We both, went into Evil Dead, I think with high hopes or high expectations, or we're not gonna do a full recap of the show because that just doesn't sound like fun. So,
yeah, I thought I was gonna be watching the second one.
Yeah, and I had seen Evil Dead once before, and it was just okay. I came into the world of Evil Dead through Army of Darkness, but that was years and years earlier when I was younger. I really liked Army of Darkness, and then, going back to revisit Evil Dead, just, I didn't love it, and didn't really care for it this time around either. I'm going to look back at my notes and see. I gave it a 2.25, and it looks like you gave it a 1.75. So
yep.
we averaged it out at 2.
Yeah, and it had like a crazy high Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah. So this was definitely an episode that we just didn't care for the movie, and so rather than try to re-record an episode that we didn't, really love. The episode that we did, I had fun on it. I think the conversation was good, but unfortunately, that's going to be lost to time, and it would be, I think it would be just a pain to try and go through and have that conversation again,
Yeah, because, it doesn't help that neither of us really like the movie that much either.
Right, yeah.
So we're not passionate about it one way or the other. It was sort of just it's always hard with like a cult movie like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there was exceptional acting or anything.
Yeah.
The effects were, kind of cheesy at some parts.
Sure.
And I know we had a big debate on claymation.
Yeah, I actually really liked the ending of the movie with the use of claymation kind of to show the demons or whatever, show them breaking down as the verse was wearing off or whatever.
Yeah, when he burned the book of human flesh or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Necronomicon.
That's it.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Doesn't that book come back for the rest of the series?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't know what part it has to play in the second one, but I know it's in Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was not as big a fan of claymation. It sort of takes me out, and I don't know, I think of... Anytime I see claymation, I flash back to, like, either Gumby or Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
So, that, and it's like, I know that he does it again with Army of Darkness, at least, with the skeletons. Yeah. And they are cheesy, and they're kind of like uses dark humor.
Yeah.
Those skeletons I remember being kind of goofy.
Yeah, I don't remember too well with
I'm not as thrown off if it's used for like some kind of weirdness, but for like a straight up death scene using claymation, kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate claymation, but at the same time, you called me out on Beetlejuice.
I did.
I must just not like it and used for certain things like death scenes or.
Yeah.
But if it's used for like comedic purposes or just like over the top, but this movie was like a very serious kind of dark movie. I didn't find it to be that. It wasn't really dark humor because I don't think anyone could pull that off in this movie.
Yeah, there was not a lot of humor. It was just a lot of, I don't know.
It was just straight up like haunted cabin movie.
Yeah. And I know the scene in the woods with what was her name, Cheryl, the tree rape scene, that really put us off. And just none of the characters were really that enjoyable to watch. Ash himself was not the over the top, full of bravado Bruce Campbell character that we're used to now. I think for years and years of seeing him in various things, like that was not the same character that we were watching in Evil Dead. Like he was
you got a glimpse of like
a little
the look
towards the end,
but not like as a whole. I mean, it was literally the very like last 15 minutes or so.
Right.
But I'm kind of interested to see how the second one goes from there.
I am too.
Because it sort of just smash cuts to you think everything's fine and dandy, and then all of a sudden there's a fast camera action moving through the woods and right into his face.
Yeah.
So it makes you think that something's still out there, even though the book was burning.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense if he destroyed the book and lifted the curse or demons or whatever. Like,
there's a lot that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets chopped and gnawed on and nothing happens to him, but
everyone else turns into a demon except for him.
And, yeah. Like his girlfriend got a pencil in the leg and she turns.
Yeah.
He gets like gallons of blood spilled all over him and he's just fine. It's just weird. Yeah. There's no rhyme or reason other than
they just decided to make him the hero because...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the second one ties it together at all, but I don't know if he's supposed to be some kind of chosen one or...
Right, maybe...
Like, there's something about him. Yeah.
That could be.
I'll see how that unfolds.
But that definitely doesn't excuse, this one, because I can't imagine that would have been the plan going into it, if they had set that up or...
Because he's the only one that's being asked to join.
Yeah.
That I can remember. Like, join us, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like maybe that's how it started with Cheryl. Like, that's the voices that she started to hear, which led her to leave the cabin and go out in the woods in the first place. I think it was basically the same thing, the join us stuff.
Yeah, and she was just sitting there, and her hand turned into like a possessed thing.
Possessed, yeah.
So maybe, even though he seems like a giant puss, he's really tougher than everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
It's very confusing. It was part of the reason I didn't really enjoy it too much, because I spent most of the time trying to figure out this universe.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, no? Okay, so blood doesn't do it. Cuts don't do it.
Yeah. It was basically the third act was the best part of the movie. The first act was fine. It's just the normal setup stuff, getting them into the cabin, and weird stuff starts happening and all that. And then the second act for me was really hard. It's not a lot happened. It seemed like just demon attacks and that kind of thing, and possession, and I did like, basically, because the third act is just Ash versus the Evil Dead, essentially. It's him just, all of his friends are now either dead or possessed, so it's him versus the house, the cabin, which is also possessed, and then all of his friends. So that worked better for me as far as how the movie went. But
yeah, I'd say my best actor award for this movie probably goes to the girl that's locked in the crawl space, or
the house. Cheryl,
yeah, she was probably the best. I mean, the makeup helped too.
Right.
Some of the makeup was pretty good.
Yeah, I do feel. I mean, I don't want to just say what we didn't like about it.
Yeah.
I know we had different numbers that we found. I found that they had a $90,000 budget. I think you had something like in the 300,000 area.
Yeah.
But if it was 90, I think they made that budget really work.
Yeah.
Because the cabin effects and the cabin itself looked great, and they shot most of that on a real location in Tennessee. So yeah, I think the movie really works as far as the visuals and the stuff like that. They had the effects that they had to come up with.
Yeah, I think we were both just surprised that this movie spawned what we know today as the Evil Dead Army of Darkness trilogy, with now a TV show even.
Yeah, it's a weird starting point for sure. I think truly it was all built on the Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the one that makes this movie, or this franchise.
And I'm assuming Evil Dead 2 got made just because Evil Dead 1 was so cheap and had to have made a profit.
Yeah, I do remember reading that it made money. Like all the investors, they got paid like 3 times their original investment. So
they'll do it.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I know the early to probably mid to late 80s was a big time for horror.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of the help. Like, people were just hungry for that kind of film.
Right. Yeah, here we go. It says it grossed $2.4 million.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Yeah, considering it was either 90 or 300,000. I mean,
yeah.
It was sub 1 million, so right there you've done your damage. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a hit. Like, financially, anyways.
Yeah.
So, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, overall, it was I don't plan on watching it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's where I am. It's not one of those that was...
It's not even fun to watch with people, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so slow and just... I don't know, there's not a whole lot that I can point out that I really would... that would really be worth it watching again.
I think for me, I want my horror to be more suspenseful, like,
sure,
Alien or The Thing, or I like a sci-fi edge to my horror, but for me, the schlocky and the dark humor aspect of it, I guess, I think is just not my cup of tea. So I will say, I don't think I mentioned this before, but my wife and I we were taking a trip down to New Orleans 2 years ago, I think now, and we stopped in Nashville, Tennessee, because they were doing Evil Dead the musical. So we got to watch, the Evil Dead story, and I think they kind of merged 1 and 2, because it definitely doesn't just stop where this one stops. I think it goes into a little bit of Evil Dead 2.
Gotcha.
And it was really, really good. It's a lot of fun to watch that. And I think they still continue to put on that production. So definitely, if it's in your area, I would check it out for sure. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. This episode was definitely going to be a little bit of that recap of Evil Dead and just explain why we're not going to have an episode for Evil Dead coming up. Because it would have taken place after our The Thing episode. But,
yeah. So if you can explain why this is a good movie, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely reach out. Yeah, I'd love to get some feedback and just hear, we would love to share that kind of feedback of why you like the Evil Dead. I almost said The Thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think we've ever been this far off.
No, definitely.
Like it's pretty high up in the audience.
Superman 2 probably.
Yeah, that's
is
right.
our other, the one that we are way off of the critics or the majority. But
I feel bad for Superman 3 now.
Yeah.
Because I know that's going to be worse.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I remember thinking, what the hell is this?
Yeah, Superman 3 is the one I had the least exposure to as a kid. Superman 4 was on TV, on Channel 4, all the time, so I've definitely seen that one the most. And then Superman 1 and 2 were the two that I revisited, in my teenage and adult years. But 3 is the one that I've seen maybe twice all the way through, so that's going to be an interesting one to go back and look at.
Yeah.
But
and we'll get a homage to Superman coming up in one of the trailers.
I'm trying to figure out where you're. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Well, teaser, I should say.
Yeah. So, the other part of this episode is going to be looking at Alien Covenant, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then we're going to look at the Deadpool 2 teaser, little short film that they've kind of put together. So.
You've all sacrificed so much to be here and be a part of this thing we're doing. This crew is made up of couples.
It's the first ever large-scale colonization mission.
And everyone back on Earth is
really grateful for your hard work, your courage.
We're making history here.
This is weird. What are the odds of finding human vegetation this far from Earth?
Who planted it? You hear that?
What?
Nothing. No birds. No animals. Nothing. What happened here?
What's happening?
I need you back here right now. I need you.
Okay, baby, just calm down, sweetheart. Calm down.
Tell me to calm down.
You're breaking up.
All of this is to start our new life. is it?
Holy.
All right. So, I want to get started with Alien Covenant.
Oh.
Or did an alien just burst out of your chest?
Chest burster. Oh, holy shit. Some coffee went down the wrong way, and I thought I could recover, like, silently.
That is not what just happened.
No. We'll see if that one makes the final edit. What were you saying?
Covenant, Alien Covenant, trailer 2-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I watched the right one.
Okay.
Because there were a lot of Alien Covenant trailers online.
Yeah.
I watched the Red Band, and I watched another one. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I watched the
one I got was a lot of. It had the alien in it, like you could actually see the alien.
Yeah, it kind of ends with the alien on the like hugging the ship as it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We're good. Yeah, I also watched the Red Band as well. And I watched a week prior to this trailer, they released a short called The Last Supper. And it's just it's like a 4.5 minute, it's not even a trailer, it's kind of like a long extended scene that you kind of get to know a little bit of the crew. So I think it's just supposed to set up like who these people are and give you little glimpses of their personalities. The one guy doesn't like, Danny McBride's character because he's kind of a loudmouth and usually drunk or whatever. So it just kind of gives you that little bit of character setup. The interesting thing is that James Franco is in that trailer or that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he's completely absent from the new trailer that we watched for the movie.
Yeah, I didn't.
And the only thing you learn about him is that he's like really sick and I don't know, just like he's got a cold or something. And because the scene is set up like it's their last meal together before they go into hibernation for, I guess, the long journey.
Okay.
And so they kind of turn it into a party once James Franco's character goes to bed. And then they refer to him as Captain, but then they also refer to Billy Crudup's character as Captain.
Yeah.
One of the other trailers. So I don't know. I'm assuming that James Franco dies or doesn't ever make it to the planet because we never see him in the newest trailer that we just watched. So
yeah.
I have no idea what's going on there. I don't want to spend too much time talking about James Franco, but I am interested to see him in this movie. But
so first off, is this Prometheus 2 or an Alien movie?
Okay. So I guess it's a very like murky and confusing point A to point B kind of thing because apparently when Ridley Scott went into Prometheus, he planned to do a Prometheus sequel where the Shaw character and the David android, I think at the end of Prometheus, he's basically a head.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but he's obviously.
At the end of that movie, they were going to then head to find the engineers like planet or home base, and I guess get some answers, straight from the source. And then that is not this movie. This one is, they kind of retconned it, or not retconned it, they retooled it. So this is not a Prometheus sequel, it's more of a Aliens prequel, which is also what Prometheus was.
Yeah.
So
very confusing.
And they were originally going to do a new trilogy as a prequel to Alien. So I get the sense that even at the end of this movie, it's not going to lead directly into Alien.
Okay.
79. So I have no idea. It's a very, like, it's not Terminator franchise level of confusing, because it's still at least one timeline. We're just jumping into that timeline at different places, kind of. So,
yeah.
At least they're not dealing with time travel.
Yeah. I'm assuming that David is like a model of a android. So
and I've read now, and I watched a few different like YouTube videos kind of explaining and like doing breakdowns of this trailer, and they talk about Michael Fassbender is playing two different Davids.
Okay.
So I think he and Shaw from Prometheus will be in this movie. There's like a hooded figure that we see at some point in the kind of the middle of the trailer. I think that's either Shaw or it's David with maybe a rebuilt body somehow.
Interesting.
But then he's also playing he might not even be named David. I think his name's Walter. The one that we see the majority of him, where he's just a normal, in quotes, android with the rest of the crew.
Because this crew is basically couples for recolonization.
Yes.
Except for David or Walter or whatever.
Right, yeah.
So they know that he's a android or whatever. It's not like Alien where they don't know.
I would assume so. And even in Prometheus, they knew that David was because he's basically their caretaker, which makes sense. That, you'd need someone alive just to keep the ship, functioning and keeping all their vital signs normal and all that. Really, it's just Alien that really, shows that the crew didn't know he was a android.
Yeah.
Ash was an android.
Then,
I think because of Ash, we're like pre-programmed to suspect that the androids are all evil.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's that they're evil, it's just that they're programmed to do a certain function.
Yeah, the company is has them, has a different set of rules for them or whatever.
Yeah. So did I see this correctly and the alien was bursting out of the guy's back this time?
Yeah, they're calling it a spine burster.
Okay, that's what I wrote down.
Yeah. And we do get a glimpse of the face hugger.
Yeah.
Looks like it attacks Billy Crudup's character, and Billy Crudup is he plays Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, the big blue guy.
Yeah, it was very reminiscent of Alien, like when they go down in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And they see the pods.
Yeah.
It's very.
Well, see, that's the weird thing about this trailer, and I guess this movie. It feels like Alien.
Yeah.
They touch down, they explore the planet, they find a derelict ship, and then they find an egg chamber, and then, basically at that point there's infection or infestation, or whatever, and then just chaos. So it seems like an Alien movie, which it should feel like an Alien movie, but it feels like Alien.
Yeah.
So
I felt like I was watching a trailer for Alien, just reboot.
Yeah, just a new kind of slap a new coat of paint on Alien. This movie looks good. I will say that. I do want to see this movie.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like I have seen this movie. So it'll be interesting what twists or what surprises, they give us.
I mean, it does give you a better view of the alien.
Oh, yeah.
The shot where it's like sort of jumping around.
Yeah.
Like from wall to wall. And then, of course, the end with the headbutting of the shield on or the windshield of the ship or whatever.
Yeah. It's a great little sequence, and especially getting that like snarling, drooling alien really works. So
I'm wondering where it'll deviate and how it's gonna, because it's obviously similar, but hopefully they make it different enough that it's not just a psycho shot-for-shot remake with Vince Vaughn or something.
Yeah. I read rumors that the main character, I think her name is Daniels, and she's the one giving the voiceover at the beginning about couples.
Mm-hmm.
She's played by Catherine Waterston. I don't know where she came from. I just saw her in what's the Harry Potter movie, Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, okay.
I saw her in that, but other than that, I don't know where she came from. But her character, I read that she was going to be Ellen Ripley's mother.
Huh.
So I hope that's not the case, because that would be...
That's weird.
It's weird. It'd be too coincidental that, because Ripley wasn't like,
Well, that, and I thought there was more time between...
Yeah.
I don't know. The time seems a bit off. Like, I thought it was...
But if they go into hibernation, it kind of doesn't matter how far apart I don't know.
It's true.
So, yeah, I hope that's just a rumor and that's not really the case, unless they can find a way to make it make sense that the same basic thing would happen to both mother and daughter,
Yeah.
Because then it just seems like she has a destiny to, have to deal with aliens.
Well, to be fair, I did think that was the Ripley character, because she had short hair.
Yeah.
Even though Ripley has longer hair in the first one.
Yeah.
But anytime I see, like, a short-haired person in an alien movie, I just think of her.
Yeah.
I think of Ripley.
Yeah.
So, way to go. You ruined it for all alien movies there, Sigourney.
Yeah. I want to talk about, when they first see the ship, or when we first see them approaching it.
Yeah.
I had to pause it, and I had this on my screen blown up full size and everything, high definition, and it looks so beautiful. You see the ship, and what I found most striking is that it looks like a matte painting. It doesn't look like it's just a 3D object sitting, that they've created. I'm sure it is, but it looks like a beautifully done matte painting that they would have done, in 1979 when they were making Alien. So, and I actually screenshot it. I'll end up sharing it, on this, on the website on this episode. But, I just wanted to just bring it up. Like, I hope they're doing some kind of practical effects and not necessarily relying 100% on CGI for everything. But I might be totally wrong. It might be a completely generated image, but it doesn't look like a 3D image, It looks like a really well done matte painting. So.
Well, there's probably an app for that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I want this to look like it was done in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that picture of the ship, just like sort of
kind of hanging there in the fog and the trees and all that. But that's the image that I'm talking about. It's beautiful.
Yeah. When they show it shot in the caves, there's something hanging there. I'm assuming it's a dog tag.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay. Just seems
some kind of ID badge. And my initial thought was they found Shaw and David from Prometheus, and that this was the same ship. But now I don't know if it's the same ship, because I don't know where in the timeline this happens. Like, I don't know. It's been long enough that I've seen Prometheus that I don't 100% remember, how that one ended. So I don't know whose dog tag this is that they're finding. Maybe she's finding it from one of her other crew members who have just been
that's true. Yeah.
carried away by a facehugger or whatever.
Alrighty. Anything else on Alien?
I guess I would just want, like, does this make you want to see the movie?
Not really.
No? Okay.
Well, I should say, not in the theater.
I guess that's what I meant. Does it make you want to go out and see it?
Yeah, not really. But to be fair, I rarely ever go out to movies anymore.
Sure.
I definitely would want to check it out, just you know, to see what it's about. I mean, it looks like it might be some fun.
Yeah, I think
I just may be kind of tired out on Aliens.
Well, and I was thinking about that because I feel kind of the same way as far as, at least with this storyline, the way it seems to be going. I want to see the movie where the company, you know, because we kind of know there's always this in the background that the company wants the aliens for bioweapons. They want to use them, you know, as that's kind of the whole goal of like the androids are trying to get this organism to take back to the company so that they can weaponize it.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Yeah, that's the movie that I want to see. Like maybe it's in the future and they finally have harvested these aliens and they're using them for military grade weapons and something then goes wrong. You know, that's the movie that I'd like to see.
Yeah, I can't picture that this company can actually handle these aliens.
Well, and that would be the point. Like, kind of like a Jurassic Park, where they think that they have everything under control, but then obviously, you know, something has to go wrong. You know, and then they're dealing with a containment facility full of aliens. But, you know, and maybe that's more of a Alien versus Predator type, like, you know, spin-off movie. But I would like to see. I think that only because this one does feel like Alien, that I kind of just wish they'd do something different than a crew stranded on a planet dealing with, you know, some aliens. So, but I do want to see it. I probably will not make it to theaters for this one.
No, to be fair, nobody goes out anymore.
Well, I don't know if that's the case, because, you know, segueing into our next trailer, if you're ready to move on, we can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, opens on May 5th. I think I mentioned that Alien Covenant opens May 19th, but I might not have.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, Guardians Volume 2.
Yeah.
Hope you're ready. It'll be here any minute. Is that a rifle?
You don't know what a rifle looks like?
It's just swords were your thing and guns were mine. But I guess we're both doing guns now. I just didn't know that.
Well, that's intense.
I see it within you. Fear, jealousy, betrayal. It is our duty to cleanse the universe of this weakness.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags, but that isn't true at all.
Dude!
I'm using my wrong eye.
Groot, put your seatbelt on! So we're saving the galaxy again? Yep. Awesome! We're really gonna be able to jack up our prices for two-time galaxy savers. Yes! Sometimes the thing you're searching for your whole life is right there by your side all along.
You're right.
All you do is yell at each other. You're not friends.
No, we're family. Except maybe her.
After all these years, I've found you.
And who the hell are you? I'm your dad, Peter.
How did you feel about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, it's probably one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was definitely the surprising gem and the riskiest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to that point.
Yeah, this could have easily gone down the Howard the Duck route. Or you're just like, okay, there's a talking raccoon.
Right.
And a tree that says Groot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love Guardians.
Yeah.
It was...
And I think the soundtrack really helps it.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's the only thing that's good about it, though.
Oh, no. No, you could do that movie, if the soundtrack wasn't... It doesn't have to be such a big part of the movie, and it would still be a really good movie. But it also, just happens to have a really excellent soundtrack that they integrate into the movie. Yeah. Some movies just have a good soundtrack, but you could easily, replace it with just straight up film score, and it would be fine. But yeah, they found a nice way to make the soundtrack tie it into the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Of the actual movie. So that was, I heard that there were people making predictions of what songs will be on the next soundtrack, because we know that he gets that tape at the end of the first movie. So there's people trying to make predictions of what they think will be part of that tape. That next, what was it, Awesome Mix Volume 2,
yeah.
I think? What's going to be on that tape?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what new gems come out of this movie.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with Fleetwood Mac, and then their song, The Chain, is the song we get in this trailer.
Oh, and yeah.
I'm not familiar with their music enough to really know this song, but it sounds really good, and it works really well with this trailer.
Yeah, it's, I've heard Fleetwood Mac, I had an aunt that was really into it, so.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm familiar with a lot of their not so great songs as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're an interesting band.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, I'll hold off on that until we get to that point in the trailer. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this trailer.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where we get some dialogue and we get some pretty short little scenes, but then there's just flashes of, action and
a lot of Baby Groot
sequences. Yeah. And I'll be honest, Baby Groot does nothing for me. I'm not, a huge fan of Baby Groot. It kind of just, the end of the first movie with the dancing Baby Groot just really annoyed me.
Really?
It really bugged me. I mean, it's fine, but I think people just latched onto that. I don't know, just.
See, the whole movie was just ridiculous. It was the perfect way for it to end. I don't know.
And I like the idea that he comes back, that he regenerates and all that, and there is still a Groot presence, but I don't know. Just the cuteness of it, I think, is what bugs me. For some reason.
But you did get a vicious side of that Baby Groot.
That's true, yeah.
And that's what I want. I want him to, implant himself in some dude's nose and blow his head up or something. Look all cute and innocent and then just go, ape shit on somebody. Because there was that scene in the first movie where they're in prison and he sticks the stuff up the guy's nose, the twigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, when he's that small, he could get in anywhere.
Right. I do I heard that Groot, now that he's, basically regenerated, he might not be the same Groot. He's same physical or, same entity, but he'll basically be experiencing childhood again. And he's going to he's now in a different environment. He's not, we assume he grew up with Rocket, maybe, and then that's why the two of them have such a close bond. But then I've heard that now that he's with the Guardians and he's around Drax and Gamora and Star-Lord, like, he might take more of have some of their personalities, or might just become a different person. So his personality will be different.
Okay,
That's what I've heard.
I thought you were going the Dr. Groot route.
Oh, no, not like he's
like he's
just
different temperament, but still has his memories. But you're saying that he's starting from scratch, essentially.
Yes. That's
Okay.
what I've heard. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I've heard that, and then that is going to create a rift between Rocket and the rest of the Guardians, because it's not like his best friend Groot anymore. So
Yeah. Well, the weird thing in the first one was that Rocket could understand what Groot was saying when he just kept saying Groot. So I wonder if he loses that or something.
I don't know.
Because I don't recall him saying much in this trailer, if anything.
No. I know the previous one, when they're dealing with, like, the bomb, and he's trying to explain, like, don't hit the button or whatever, and he just keeps saying, I am Groot. So he definitely seems to still have the same vocabulary.
Okay. Well, that's good for Vin Diesel, at least.
Yeah.
So, do we want to just jump into Daddy?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
So, Kurt Russell.
And his beard.
His beard. Now, I had listened, full disclosure, to the Nerdist recap of this.
Okay.
So I now know way more than I ever did before, because I did not realize that he was the planet.
Okay, so they went into the ego, the living planet of it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm very disturbed by his father and how his mom got hooked up with him.
Yeah.
Because essentially he is a planet,
right?
Like a living planet, but can, I guess,
transfer
put his
consciousness,
essence, to a physical body that randomly went to Earth to bang Star-Lord's mom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very confused. I don't understand, like, that.
Yeah.
How that came to be.
I don't either. And this is a departure from, at least from the more recent run of Guardians of the Galaxy in the comic books. Because in ramping up towards the first movie, they did a new series. And Peter Quill's father was like Jason, king of Spartax, So he's just like some king from some other planet in some other galaxy, basically human, but just
because I think
from a different
this
planet.
makes more sense because of the way the first one ended.
Yeah.
Because it said he had something in him that they didn't think still existed. It's ancient and blah, blah, blah. So I guess this version that makes more sense based on that comment.
Yeah.
Because having a planetoid father is pretty rare, I'd assume.
Yeah. Yeah, like it may be ego has never procreated with a person, and maybe that was the point. Maybe he decided he wanted to, possess a body and try living as a person for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was going to
be.
I thought it was going to be some kind of light being because his mom said it was like an angel bathed in light or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be this. I wasn't expecting a granola Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got other forms. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw something that they've cast a young Kurt Russell, so we're going to see. Reportedly, we're going to see a flashback to when his dad and his mom meet, or at least we're going to see them spend some time together, it sounds like. So.
I wonder if the mom has a mixtape for the dad then. So
Maybe.
Volume 3 is him getting a cassette from his old man.
That could be. That would not surprise me.
Although if she gave the dad something, it might be their get busy mix, so maybe he doesn't want to listen to that.
Yeah. Songs to bone to.
Yeah.
Give this to Peter when he's old enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough his name's Peter anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't know who one of the characters that was in this.
Okay.
It was a female character.
Mantis? Yeah. Okay.
So
I don't know much about her either.
She wasn't in the first one that I can remember.
No.
Okay. And then Drax got himself like some kind of weird blue aura power, or
I'm guessing that's just something to sustain him while he's in space.
Yeah.
So it might be like, some kind of energy field that protects him out in space.
I couldn't tell if he if he developed a new power or not, or if it was like a technical device.
I'm thinking it's just some kind of device.
Okay.
Yeah, or some kind of someone maybe can provide him. Maybe it's Ego. Maybe can provide some kind of energy field. I don't know. We've got the new members basically. So Yondu from the first movie does become a Guardian.
Oh, really?
Because basically he gets kicked out of the Ravagers because he went too soft on Quill, on Star-Lord in the first movie. So they've kicked him out. And we get to see he's got his full mohawk. So he's got that big fin on top of his head. So that's kind of cool. And then, I don't know much about Mantis.
I always called him the Whistler.
The Whistler, yeah.
Yeah.
His character is way different from the early Guardians comics that I've read.
Oh, I enjoyed him in the first one.
I did too. But he definitely was not, Merle from Walking Dead.
Oh, no.
Definitely didn't have that kind of personality. But it totally works for this. So I do enjoy the Yondu character.
I just wish somebody would stink palm him.
Yeah, totally.
That's all I'll ever think of when I see him.
Yeah.
It's just him licking his fingers after that and Mallrats.
Oh, that dark chocolate?
So, who are the other newbies? Mantis?
Mantis and then Nebula, which obviously we've seen her, but she does become a member. So, after watching this trailer a few times, it kind of dawned on me, I have no idea what this movie is about. Because really, if you just watch the trailer, it's just some action scenes, and they run into these gold people.
Yeah, I think
they give some vague, kind of threatening messages about fear and greed. But then just digging into what the movie itself is about is the Guardians are hired by these gold people who are called the Enclave.
Mm-hmm.
They're hired by them to destroy that big octopus teeth monster thing that you see them fighting. So that's their main goal. And then somehow the Enclave become the villains because their whole goal is to purge emotion from the universe.
Yeah, they're trying to be, they're very Vulcan-esque, I guess, in that manner, but I think they're essentially trying to get some order in the universe, and emotions makes things chaotic. Right. And I'm assuming maybe they want Star-Lord's dad to... I'm assuming he's powerful.
Yeah, I would think so.
I just don't understand why they're going to him or how they even found out about him.
Who knows?
So,
maybe he's
I don't know if that's part of their mission to go to this planet place.
Right.
So, there's a lot you just don't know. But I dug it.
It looks great. For some reason, the build up to this movie, I've been excited about the little production tidbits that that have been released over the last year or so with this, but for some reason the first couple teaser trailers or trailers that we've seen for this leading up to it have not really done much for me. Like, I still want to see the movie because I loved the first movie, but it's just like, it was a little bit underwhelming. This trailer it's turning it around a little bit for me, so I really dig the majority of this trailer. But again, like, I don't know what the story's about. I had to actually go, research the behind the scenes kind of stuff from the trailer and find out what it all meant and find out what the story was going to be, because the trailer doesn't really give you any of that. And I do really enjoy that it ends with, Kurt Russell, and I like that they're building that. So
yeah, this is one that I definitely am going to check out. I mean, just based on the first one, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, that's where I am.
I kind of like that I don't know a lot about it as well.
Sure.
Because it kind of sucks when trailers give you the whole movie.
And that's true.
And that's usually a sign of a crappy movie.
Yeah.
So
I like that the team itself grows. Like, I mean, by the end of it, I don't know if Mantis and Nebula will be full members or continue to be members, but at least by probably the third act, it's going to be all like 8 of them as a team. So.
Yeah, because I mean, it shows Nebula going after what's her face, Gamora.
Yeah.
So there's obviously going to be some issues that need to be worked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, go and see it, people.
Yeah.
Wow, nice suit. Zip it, Stanley.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's not good. No. Oh, you're not going to walk that one off. Oh, that's so gross. Oh, I'm so sorry. I spent way too long in the phone booth. If I'm being honest with myself, I probably should have just called 911.
Well, none of that matters now. Because I think we're both missing the real point here.
The fuck is a phone booth doing on a street corner? Didn't those disappear in 98? Suppose I could have just used my cell. Don't you think? Ooh! And Cherry Garcia ice cream. You gonna eat this? Don't answer now. Just rest. I mean, actually, I made a call. It was to the costumer. His name is Laird. He usually helps me put the suit on.
I don't know how the other guys do it so quickly.
Well, you probably wouldn't be dead if it was Logan.
Because he got to change into. Guy wears a fucking tank top and a pair of jeans. Yeah, like to get my tank top on, bit of perspiration, have a nice little crime-fighting spree, yeah. Happy hugger call it, eh?
Then you want to get into the Deadpool 2 teaser?
Yeah, and we decided we were going to do this trailer episode, and I think like Thursday or Friday, it was decided that we would do Guardians and Alien, and then this Deadpool 2 little teaser came out of nowhere on Saturday, yesterday. So I guess it's probably attached to Logan, since Logan just came out this week. So I'm guessing that's where it is, or where it came from, but it took me by surprise completely. I was just randomly on Twitter and saw this and thought, oh, it's probably just kind of a fake thing that someone put together. But it's a nice little, almost like a little short film. Like,
yeah,
it's not, there's definitely no information like Deadpool 2 coming. It just says.
It's just giving you a taste of Deadpool.
Yeah, and I don't get the sense that this is a scene from the next movie. I think it's just something that they threw together. It looks like they spent about $300 on a Hollywood backlot just that standard, typical Hollywood cityscape backlot that they seem to be using here. So couldn't have spent much on this. Although I say that, and somehow they got the Superman theme in this. So that took me by surprise.
Yeah, it's just your typical cheesy, guy getting mugged, and then, he's got his line of "not in my watch" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he runs to the phone booth and awkwardly tries to change his clothes.
Yeah. Which is a great nod, it's a great,
shows how impractical it is, but, that's what Deadpool does.
Yeah.
He talked about the superhero landing and the first movie, and now he's talking about basically the biggest, I guess. It's odd because it's a DC character.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny seeing him rip on a DC character.
Right.
And then it was kind of funny because he explains later on towards the end of the trailer who he was talking to on the phone.
Yeah, the costumer.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little breaking the fourth wall, that only Deadpool can do.
Yeah.
I know I missed some of them, but there are tons of, I'm sure, Easter eggs and little things in the background. Like the phone booth itself says Nathan Summers coming soon, and Nathan Summers is Cable.
Nice.
They teased, Cable at the end of the first movie. There's a Firefly poster, a couple Firefly posters, on the wall behind him when he runs across the street. And that's kind of a weird, I don't know what the Joss Whedon connection is to this.
Is Nathan Fillion going to be in Deadpool 2?
Maybe that's a hint that Fillion's going to be Cable.
Alan Tudyk.
Which I would be okay with.
Yeah, he obviously gets there too late, and
oh yeah.
The guy doing the acting, the guy getting robbed, was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he yells at Stan Lee.
See, what I wish that they would have done with Stan Lee is I wanted him to say, "Go, Spidey, go." Because obviously, Stan Lee had nothing to do with the creation of Deadpool. He was basically out of running a Marvel way before Deadpool came around. But for some reason, people have always, before Deadpool became, as popular as he is, he would get confused for Spider-Man. I guess because of the red on the costume and the...
Yeah, and the kind of
the
black,
eyes, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
the black around the eyes.
Yeah, so it would have been funny just to see kind of a senile Stan Lee thinking it's his character. But I do like that they used him in the trailer, so that was really nice.
And, just chilling out on an old dead guy, eating some cherry Garcia.
Yeah.
It's just a taste of
Finding the body.
Deadpool vibe and character, so...
And I get the sense that we'll probably get more stuff like this, because with this movie and the Deadpool franchise, they can do anything as far as social marketing goes, or release. They don't have to release a trailer that's, obviously they will release a standard or a normal trailer, but they can do more clever things and more, they can do different things with the marketing of this movie, When you have a character that knows he's in a movie, it kind of breaks all the conventional rules. So
yeah, it'll be fun to see what they can do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a double-edged sword because they can do whatever they want, but can they do it well?
Yeah. I know they lost the original director for Deadpool was Tim Miller, and he was, as far as I know, he was on board to do the sequel. And somewhere early on in the stages, maybe it was creative differences, but he left. So I think people were a little concerned with, is the next one going to feel the same? And definitely with Ryan Reynolds as involved in this project as he is, he's going to try to keep it, on the same track, or make sure it's what he wants to put out there. So I don't remember who's directing this one. But my point is, I'm like seeing this little short film is a nice indication that they still know what they're doing, and the tone isn't going to be completely different. So.
That, and I think the writing's the bigger piece of the Deadpool than really just directing, I would say.
Yeah.
Because as long as the character is there, I mean, I think it'll carry itself pretty well.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It's should be an interesting year this year, and I'm not sure when Deadpool's coming out. Maybe next year.
It's definitely 2018.
Okay.
But okay. The director is David Leitch, and he worked on John Wick.
Oh,
so
nice.
I knew it was something recent that he'd been.
Smart getting an action director.
Well, and he's done a lot of stunts too. Looks like more of a stunt guy than a.
Oh, really?
Director. So yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for John Wick because that movie was so stunt heavy.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we can expect a bloodbath, I guess.
Oh yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do because the one of the best parts of Deadpool was he went through the entire movie with 12 bullets and one gun, and then no guns. He kept forgetting guns later.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting if they find some kind of weird, set of rules to do with the next one. Or
yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm kind of wondering what the story is going to be about.
Yeah. Well, and they've made it clear that they're adding in Cable. Cable is a time-traveling mutant. He's kind of a man out of time. He's the son of Cyclops. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. But he's in our timeline, and so he's spent a lot of time around Cyclops. So it's always kind of weird, Cyclops or Scott Summers, spends time with this man who's actually older, but is his son. So it's kind of messes with.
All right. Yeah. No, I had no idea.
Yeah. He's the son of Scott Summers, and I want to say it's Jean Grey's clone, or I don't think it's just straight up Jean Grey. I might be totally wrong about that, but yeah, it's weird. So, or an alternative timeline Jean Grey or something.
Okay, maybe I don't know who Cable is, because I thought Cable was an older black dude.
Oh no, I think you're thinking of Bishop. No, yeah, Bishop.
Oh.
Who's also a time time displaced. Also carries big guns.
Okay.
Cable is he's a dude that typically looks like an old man. I mean, old, huge, ripped, physically fit man.
Okay.
But usually gray or silver hair.
Okay.
Scar over one eye and a big metal arm.
Okay.
Kinda
yeah.
Winter Soldier.
That makes sense.
He usually carries a ton of guns.
Yeah, I'm picturing him now.
Okay.
I think I just got I was with the other character until you said Jean Grey. I was like, okay, that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm with you.
That's funny.
Too many characters. I can't keep them all straight, especially if they're very similar.
Okay, I was right. He's the son of Scott Summers and Madeline Pryor, who is Jean Grey's clone.
Jeez.
So, yeah.
I swear, comic books are worse than frickin' soap operas.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing at some point there's an Evil Twin series.
Probably.
An alternate universe where...
I think he does have a cloned brother who is... what's his name? I forget now. But, yeah, I think there is some kind of other version of him or something like that. So
I'll figure it out someday.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
so yeah, I don't really have anything else on Deadpool 2 teaser.
So that'll pretty much wrap it up. But sounds like it's going to be an interesting summer. We'll see how things go.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out. Kong and all that.
So much. Yeah, Kong will be out a couple days after this episode goes up.
Yep.
And then we got Logan this weekend. I'm probably going to go see Logan tonight. So I'll be interested to see if they attach this little, I guess, teaser.
Oh yeah, they did mention Logan in the teaser.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing there. Yeah, Logan on the movie poster or on the marquee, and then Logan posters in the background of one of the shots. And then for some reason it ends with a synopsis of the old man in the sea. Did you see that?
No.
Like basically after essentially where the credits would be if this was a normal movie.
Uh-huh.
It just scrolls all this text.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
It's the old man in the sea, but it definitely seems like it's it sounds like it's Deadpool, like telling you the story of Old Man in the Sea. So it has like weird little tangents and I don't know where that fits in.
Gotcha. Yeah, I watched it on my phone, so I couldn't read it that well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nice. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So the next True Blue episode, I guess, of watching a movie would be
The Thing.
No? I thought this was going to be after The Thing.
It would have been, because that's the one I was still editing.
That's right. You want to get the trailers out. That's right.
Would have gone up, this Wednesday. But since these trailers dropped, it just felt like getting this one up, a little sooner. So we might wait. I mean, typically we do the 2 weeks between episodes, but with it being a trailer episode, I might wait just 1 week.
Yeah.
And put up John Carpenter's The Thing in 1 week. So, and then after that we'll do. After that is where Evil Dead would have been.
Yeah.
And then after that would have been Return of the Jedi. But I think our next 2 episodes will be The Thing and Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So, yeah. I guess until next time.
Yeah.
Oh, check us out on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us on both places there at Real Comic Heroes. Please leave us some feedback or send us an email at realcomicheroes@gmail.com with your thoughts on Evil Dead. Like we said, we're not going to put out a full Evil Dead review now because we've explained all of that, but we'd love to know what our listeners think of Evil Dead and see if we were off the mark, or because we're definitely off the mark as far as what did you look up? Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know we're off the mark as far as they're concerned. So
I'd just like to know why people like this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So please explain.
Yeah. So yeah. Until then, we'll be back with John Carpenter's The Thing.
All right. See you guys then.